I am recording, or I decided to record rather, because I just want to talk about today and how it relates to the next chapter in my memoir. There's things that happen in my life that really changed who I am and made me look at things differently. So, yeah. Today, October 5th, 2021, marks the 20 years ago. I was married for the first time. I got married, and I got married to my son's father. And so this month, October, has a lot of different memories in it. So it's really always, even though it's my birthday month, it's the hardest month for me because there's other things that happen in this month that only few people know about that changed me. Today marks the 20th anniversary of the day that I married a man that abused me. Verbally, physically, and emotionally. I allowed it because it's something that I was just taught, being a wife, submit, be there. Divorces aren't the answer, so just stick it out no matter what. There's this chapter in my memoir is called Shoestrings. You'll see it when you get through my memoir, and you'll see different just phrases of certain stuff, but you'll see shoestrings. And I'm gonna tell you a little bit about shoestrings. Shoestrings comes from a place that I had involuntarily was placed in. And the first thing they told me to do was take off my shoestrings. And I'm like, this is not jail. Why do we take off shoestrings? I'm not gonna strangle nobody. Like, I don't get it. And they're like, so you don't strangle yourself. Word? See, I was there because I was 8 months pregnant. And the first time that this man put his hands on me was when I was 8 months pregnant, and he was strangling me, had me bent over, strangling me on a love seat in our 1-bedroom apartment. It hurt, gasping for air. And the only thing that made him let go was I was able to get enough breath to say, you're gonna kill the baby. Stop. He released, thankfully. And that wasn't the first time. It's the first time that I actually realized, like, okay, this is more than verbal, this is more than emotional, this is now becoming physical. And if I don't get out, I will not only lose my life, but the life of the child that I carry. And for me, I needed, as a mom, I need to protect that, to stop that, to prevent that by any means necessary. Any means necessary. I didn't want my son to be brought in a situation, a relationship, a family where there was violence and anger. So I made a plan. I made a plan to save my kid, to save this child that I almost lost. The whole, time during my pregnancy, I was stressed, scared. And I made a choice like, I can't. It's one thing for me to go through it, It's another thing to put a child through it. Sometimes we're just not strong enough to move and leave. But when it hurts someone else, when someone else is something innocent is affected, I have to stop. That's where I draw the line. So the only way that I can, I didn't have family. I have family, but my family was so upset with me for staying with this man because they didn't even want me to marry him, So they distanced themselves. As long as I was with them, they didn't accept him, and I stayed with him regardless. When I love someone and I'm with them, I'm going to be with you. And that upset them, And I didn't want to hear, I told you so, I didn't want to go back to them and tell them what was going on to hear, I told you so. Told you this man wasn't no good for you. I told you he's not mature enough. I told you. That's not what we need to hear. It's not what we need to hear. So for me, I was like, I gotta protect him. That was my thing. I gotta protect him. When you read in my memoirs earlier in the chapters, I'm not a stranger to suicidal attempts. I'm not a stranger to feeling that way. It's not something that I'm not familiar with or I haven't tried before. Those other reasons were different. And you read it, you'll find out. This time it was more so like I got to do what I got to do any means necessary. I got to remove myself and my unborn from this situation. Any means necessary. And for me, that meant making a plan to drive my car to San Francisco early in the morning and park on the side right before you get on, Treasure Island way, you can go just to park there and walk over, pregnant and all. I had on a blue jacket, some skinny jeans, and some tennis shoes. And I had like a half wig on. I remember the day so well. And my plan was to go there and tie a rope to the bridge and jump off. I was set. That's what I was going to do. It didn't matter. I wasn't scared. I'm like, this is what I have to do. And it's crazy because, you hear these things on TV where these parents do things to their kids because they feel like they're protecting them and everything. That was my thing. I'm protecting them. And that's, when I was placed in this location for my attempt, for them to try to take my shoestrings and then for them to put in the perspective as, so you don't try to strangle yourself. I was like, the irony, right? So I had a plan. It's something I was going to do, I just wanted to be rid of what I was going through. And because I couldn't leave this man on my own, it takes the danger, the fear of my child to even step away. I figured this is not going to stop. I'm going to be too weak to protect my kid. And I'm going to lose him I'm going to lose him anyways, right? So why not do it on my terms? Why not do it my way? It didn't happen, obviously, because I'm here. Because I had reached out to I reached out to a family member to give me a ride because I didn't want to drive my car because I was too distraught. And then plus my belly was too big for the car. I literally called her and was like, I need you to do me a favor. She's like, hey, what's up? I was like, I need you to give me a ride to San Francisco to the Bay Bridge. I was like, yeah, to the Bay Bridge. She's like, and to do it, I was like, oh, you can just drop me off, And that was in a straight, clear mind. Like, yeah, you can just drop me off, It's like, well, okay, you meeting someone there? Like, all right. I mean, what do you want me to do with your car when I'm done? Since I'm taking it. And I was like, I won't need it, I won't need it. She's like, I'm confused. And I just said, I have a plan to jump off the bridge. So I won't need my car or anything after this. My possessions mean nothing to me right now. My life of my unborn does. What's crazy is that as I'm recording this, and I will post this, his family members are on my Facebook. They're probably going to see this. And to this day, they don't believe that their brother was capable of doing this, that we went through that happened, that he did that. And I'm like, his father did it to his mom. He watched it. It's in there. It's in there. It's in those, whatever. They just didn't believe me, and that made it worse because it's like I couldn't even come to them then, We argued and everything here and there, but I had nobody. And I talked to God, and I was like, he's only protected if he's with me. And the only way that I can protect my kid is if he comes with me. It's the only way. I can't leave him here. I can't bring him into this world. I'm not okay. I'm not strong enough to do it. And he deserves someone that's strong. And I can't give that to him. I'm scared. I'm scared of what I'm going through. I've never experienced that. I didn't grow up with that. My parents didn't do that. But I was bullied. As you'll read in that other chapters, I experienced that type of abuse before, and I know what it did to me. I know how it made me feel, and I know how helpless I was. And I just didn't want that for me or who I was carrying. So anyways, I called her and told her that, and she was like, she heard me out, my reasons, and was like, okay, if this is what you want to do, and you seem to be adamant that it's going to happen. I was like, yeah, I can catch a BART in the train, catch the number 85, or catch the 90 to El Cerrito, go to San Francisco in the BART. She was like, yeah, I get it. You're adamant. You're going to go there. She was like, just do me one favor and I'll take you and we're good. She was like, just talk to my therapist. I have a good therapist. I've been through this. Just call her, or we can just meet with her and just tell her, just at least get this off your chest before you go. So everyone understands why you did what you did. And I was like, okay. I mean, I could do that, but you better take me to the bridge after. You know, you better take me to the bridge after. I'm serious about this. You don't do it, it's gonna happen, you know, so you ain't stopping nothing. She stopped it. The therapist heard me, heard my story, heard my plan. And the next thing you know, I was placed into a non-emergency ambulance and took into a hospital setting. And I was told that I was there to protect myself. And they said, this is something you want to do, at least write the pregnancy out and let us take the child. You know, the child's innocent in this whole situation, and we'll give your child a better life. But just stay here with us, keep this child here. And, you know, so I was like, okay, you know, all right. They was like, we're just gonna need your shoestrings. Just gonna need your shoestrings, and we'll send you to your room. I was like, my room? We have to go. We have an appointment at the Bay Bridge. We gotta go. So, I mean, I don't need shoestrings. I can wear my flip-flops. But yeah, no. Took my shoestrings, and there I was. I couldn't leave. I was put in a ward for people who, I was put on 5150. If you know anything about 5150, if you're in the medical field, 5150 is when you're a danger to yourself and others. My situation, that's what it was. They found it dangerous that a mom can think of something like this to take her, not only her life, but she felt comfortable taking her life in the life that she had. And her reasoning was like, yeah, I'm protecting my kid. I'm not crazy. I'm not mentally insane. I don't need no treatment. You know, I need to get out of this. I need to get out of this. I can't bring my son into this. My job as a mom to protect mine, womp. So let's go. Get out my shoestrings. I don't need them. Just give me a cab in the morning. I was there for about 35 days. And some clothes they gave me. In a room with just 2 beds in it. Some sweatpants, socks, no shoes, and no shoestrings. As you read my memoir, you'll hear things like this, and you'll hear this chapter, and you'll wonder what happened, and you may resonate with it. And that's my whole point of writing this. Not to tell you all about me, but that if you know me now today, how protective I am of my son, any parent is. But when you hear me say to people, my son is so important to me to a high extent of anything, you have no idea. My son saved my life. Yo, he really did. He saved my life. And his. You know, there was something that happened during my stay there that my child spoke to me. The Lord spoke to me. It's weird. And I asked for something, and I got it out the blue. Came from nowhere. And right then when I heard that, I made the decision to stay alive. Because never again do I want to go there and someone take my shoestrings. Thank you for listening. It's almost about 20 minutes. But yeah, today is a lot to me.